The NBA is a global league, filled with stories that stretch across continents and cultures. More than 43 countries have produced NBA players, and almost 12,000 men have heard their names called on draft night. Yet out of 1.4 billion people in India, nearly 1/5 of the planet's population, only one player has ever made it to the NBA. His name is Satnam Singh, and his journey is unlike anything the league has ever seen. He came from Baloke, a small farming village in Punjab with fewer than 8,000 people. Life there was simple, and expectations for children were even simpler. Boys were raised to take over the family farm. Girls worked the home. Nobody talked about professional sports, and certainly not basketball. Satnam himself didn't even know what basketball was. But destiny had other plans. At just 10 years old, Satnam stood 6'6". His father was a towering 7'2", his grandmother 6'9", and in a country where height is rare, Satnam was a walking spectacle. People in the village constantly told his father to put him into sports. And one day, after reading a newspaper ad about a local academy searching for tall boys, his father took him to try out. At first, Satnam thought it was volleyball. But when he touched a basketball for the first time, something clicked. The game made sense in his hands. His first coach was stunned. He said Satnam wasn't learning basketball, he was born for it. But in India, being born for it wasn't enough. Facilities were poor. Wooden courts had holes in the roof, and players practiced in suffocating heat. There were no organized leagues, barely any tournaments, and professional basketball didn't exist. The best players worked side jobs to support themselves. Nobody from India had ever played NCAA college ball, let alone the NBA. To most, Satnam's dream was a waste of time. But the boy believed. At 10 years old, Satnam left home to train full-time at one of the few academies in the country. His parents were worried. Sending a child away at such a young age seemed reckless, but Satnam pressed forward. He endured loneliness, poor facilities, and constant doubts. And yet he kept growing, both in size and in skill. By 14, he was 6'11", wearing size 19 shoes. No shop in India carried them. For a while, he trained in slippers, unable to run properly, but fate intervened. In 2010, the NBA launched a development initiative in India, led by Troy Justice, who toured academies searching for talent. When he arrived in Ludhiana, the first boy he saw was Satnam. Shocked by his size and potential, Justice immediately called back to the States to get custom shoes shipped. That simple gesture changed everything. Satnam could now play like a real athlete, and soon the doors of opportunity swung wide open. He dominated local competitions, led Punjab's youth team to championships, and eventually drew the attention of IMG Academy in Florida, one of America's most prestigious sports schools. IMG had produced future NBA stars before, and when they saw Satnam, they saw a project worth investing in. In 2010, at just 14 years old, Satnam left his country, his family, and everything familiar behind, boarding a plane for an 8,000-mile leap of faith. But when he landed in the United States, he was confronted with challenges far greater than basketball. He didn't speak English. He couldn't communicate with teammates or coaches. He struggled in school. He was isolated in a foreign land, unable to express his thoughts. On the court, his confidence dipped. Layups he once finished with ease rolled off the rim. He spent more time lifting weights than actually playing, and his early seasons at IMG were underwhelming. Yet, Satnam refused to give up. He dedicated himself to learning English, to understanding his coaches, to becoming a part of his team. Slowly, he adjusted. And when he represented India in international tournaments, the progress showed. He was the youngest ever to play for the senior national team, and though his stats were modest, his presence was undeniable. By his senior year at IMG, he was averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks against elite competition. Big-time college programs took notice. Arizona, Kentucky, Michigan State, they all circled his name. But then came the setback that changed everything. Despite his work, Satnam couldn't meet the NCAA's strict academic eligibility standards. His English scores weren't high enough, and just like that, his college path was closed. After years of planning for Division I basketball, he was suddenly without options. That's when his agent proposed something unheard of, declaring for the 2015 NBA draft straight out of high school. It hadn't been done in over a decade. Analysts laughed. Scouts called him raw, unprepared, a long shot. Yet Satnam pushed forward. He worked out with teams, attended the draft combine in Chicago, and met legends like Larry Bird. Feedback was mixed. Some called him a revolutionary prospect. Others said he was too slow, too undeveloped. But on draft night, with the 52nd pick, the Dallas Mavericks made history. They called his name. Satnam Singh had done the impossible. He was the first Indian-born player ever drafted into the NBA. His village erupted in celebration. He returned home as a hero, a symbol of what was possible. To millions, he was India's Yao Ming. The boy who left the farm at 10 had carried his nation onto the global stage, but the NBA is ruthless. Dreams don't guarantee success. Satnam spent his rookie year in the D-League with the Texas Legends. Minutes were scarce, production was low, and while he had flashes of promise, he struggled to keep pace with the speed and athleticism of professional basketball. His averages were small, just 1.5 points, 1.5 rebounds per game, and improvement didn't come fast enough. By 2017, the Mavericks moved on. Satnam never played in an NBA game. The weight of expectation crushed him. He was supposed to be the chosen one, the role model for an entire nation. But reality was cruel. His numbers in Canada's Pro League were no better, and his international play regressed. Still, he fought on, representing India in qualifiers, and in 2019, he had a brief resurgence, dropping 20 points and 10 rebounds against Jordan. It was a reminder of what he could have been. Then came the final blow, a 2-year doping ban. Satnam claimed it was unintentional, but the label stuck. At just 25, his basketball career was effectively over. And yet this story isn't a tragedy, because Satnam Singh reinvented himself. In 2021, he stepped into a new arena, professional wrestling. Signed by All Elite Wrestling, he embraced his size and charisma, turning into a fan favorite. Viral moments followed. He even captured a World Tag Team Championship. Once again, he made history. Not as a player, but as a performer, still carrying the pride of India onto a global stage. Satnam Singh may not have become a basketball superstar, but he shattered barriers. He proved that even from a tiny village in Punjab, the NBA wasn't impossible. He inspired a generation of Indian kids to pick up a ball, to dream bigger, to believe. His journey shows that sometimes the destination isn't as important as the path. And for Satnam, that path turned him from a farm boy into a global figure, remembered forever as India's first NBA player. What do you think? Did Satnam's story inspire you? And do you believe he could have made it in the NBA if he had been given the chance to play college ball? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss more powerful stories like this.